All right, how's it going, guys? Hopefully everybody's having an awesome Friday night. Yeah, I'm just getting it together. I was, multitasking today. We'll make it sound professional. Really, I was bullshitting on the interweb with some people we know. But yeah, we'll sound professional. I was multitasking. So we're kind of winging it tonight, but I think that's what live chats are all about, wing it, right? Yeah, I have a certain few things to talk about, but for the most part, we're going to wing it. I see Marco was up in here early as usual. Chaos Theory, Greg Vanderlip, what's happening, guys? Ground Fog, LC Buell, what's happening, man? Yeah, we're settling in for a whole lot of we don't know what. So, how was everybody's day? We'll give the chat a few minutes to line up, bust out the EDC. Figure start with a little bit of pocket stuff. Yeah. Still carrying the Spyderco Sage 5 carbon fiber. Great little folder there. And then for my fixie, still carrying the FOBOS knives Tier 1 Mini. And this is in CPM 154 CM. And yeah, I've been carrying it in the pocket Kydex there with the easy clip. But yeah, nobody really wants to see the sheath, right? And still carrying the Leatherman Surge. Without a doubt, that's my daily multi-tool for now. I do want to downscale to the Wave Plus. That's still on the agenda. It's still on the list of things to do, along with 90 bajillion other things. Oh yeah. I've been I didn't get much sleep last night. I don't get much sleep lately at all. Um, and yeah, I gotta stop the burning stuff in the house because not really too healthy for the lungs. That's been kind of whooping on me, but I got a hot coffee to keep it rolling. So yeah, Elsie, the knife sheath is always super important, especially if you're in the 10% of the crowd that's left-handed. There's many knives I haven't bought because they come with right hand only sheath. It's a nice sheath, but then I end up having to like have something built or something made. So yeah, there's a lot of nice knives I've kind of not gotten because yeah, the sheath's a major important part of how you're going to carry. So very important. Um, but yeah, it's still trying to clear out the lungs a little bit. That's a thing. Deneen, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Always awesome seeing you. Yeah, you came over from Welding Carrier, right? Yeah, I try to remember everybody. I'm getting better. It seems like as soon as I start getting caught up, there's more people, but that's a good thing on YouTube, I think. At least that's what they're telling me. So, yuppers, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Welding Carry's awesome, dude, and he's got cool stickers too. Gotta love the Welding Carry channel swag. Yeah, what's everybody EDCing for the day? Yeah, it's about that time of night anyhow. 8 o'clock. Pocket dump. Switch over to the lounge pants and settle back for some YouTube for the evening. But yeah, other than that, I don't really carry too much. Um, I carry my keychains still. I've always got a P38 on there, basic keys. Nice part about not driving an automobile, you don't have those big gawky, goofy keys that take batteries nowadays. But I've also got a little Streamlight Nano on here. Pretty simple EDC. Oh yeah, but yeah, I'll see. It doesn't matter if it's a grandpa knife as long as it's sharp and it does the job. That's one of the important things. Um, yeah, still got a bunch of these. I didn't really yeah, like I said, I was kind of busy but not busy today, so I didn't set too much up for this evening. Figured I'd just wing it though. Like I said, that's what we usually do around here anyhow. We'll get a little symmetry in there for everybody. EDC for day is a Gerber strong arm and the Sig hole puncher exactly. Right on. Yeah, I haven't talked to you too much this week, Chaos. How are things going, man? Yeah, well, have you talked to James at all? Definitely drinking the coffee tonight though. Got the still drinking the blackout coffee. Love that stuff. So, yeah, so what's new? I definitely I've got an order I need to place at some point this I think I'm hoping to do it this week. We'll see what happens, but should be something a little different on the channel. Right. Yeah, yeah, chaos. And knowing is half the battle, right? Priceless. For everything else, there's MasterCard. So yeah, I actually yeah, I was generously gifted a new table mat this week. So we got one that's not all burnt up and everything. I'm not sure how well with the black it's coming out. You guys can see everything okay? I think the black mat is perfect for like satin finish, right? So I'm gonna, like I said, eventually I want to get one of those custom ones done. You can order them with the logos on it and stuff. Similar mats like computer top mats. Chaos and LC's having a little lovers quarrel up in there. Yeah, LC, do you need a hug, my man? Sorry, we got hugs for everyone. There's a hug for you and so yeah, and then the next big thing's coming up is going to be yeah, some outdoor videos. I've got to get outdoors and start doing the outdoor gig. Very important. It's kind of what I started doing YouTube for, but it happens, right? Damn, its hug would be nice. Yeah, they yeah, as soon as you get monetized, right? They start throwing them up in there. Yeah, I gotta do a little bit more research into that because I did the like you can opt to do it all like pick and choose where you put them and or you can opt to let YouTube do it. And I opted to let YouTube do it. And yeah, they're probably taking gross advantage of me, right? Yeah, yeah. What's new with everybody, guys? How is everybody doing this fine evening? Anybody got anything planned for this weekend? Any hiking, camping, hunting, anything like that? Yeah, I think yeah, nothing crashes a chat quicker than some ads, right? Um yeah, that wow. Geez. Yeah, yeah, Elsie, that's the way I understand it too. Like if yeah, if you don't have the ads on, then yeah, you're not getting anywhere. So unfortunately, that's part of the game we're playing is fighting the that economic wall, trying to finance this show is getting to be a bit much. But yeah, just making sure I'm caught up on the comments here. I didn't miss anybody coming in. But yeah, that's YouTube in a nutshell, right? Yeah, it's definitely the new mat's definitely simple. The all black. Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely looking into eventually getting something done up with the channel logo and stuff like that on there. I think that'll make it look pretty nice. And yeah, I still got the old one though, so if we decide to burn some stuff, maybe we'll do that just for entertainment value. But yeah, I've still got the old one, so I could put that one over and amongst a couple other things. I don't think it's fire retardant. It's like an oversized mouse pad for gaming, and it has like a rubberized bottom to it. which actually the bottom actually looks a little more bling than the top, but then the top's real smooth, so it slides around. I tried putting it up reverse, but yeah, that didn't go well at all. Um, yeah, but I don't think it's any more fire retardant than anything else around the house. I think it's just pretty standard. I don't want to find out either. Yeah, we've definitely melted a few things while we were testing out all those fire starters, but that's the only way you're gonna know. You got to try trial and error, right? Yeah, chaos. Yeah, you did get your package. Yeah, yeah, and there's a short on it if anybody wants to see a quick I don't know, unpackaging, unboxing, mail call type video. Yeah, chaos did a quick video on that, a little entertaining. Um, yeah, he's got a few knives in there, a few whatevers. So, but yeah, that's about all I've got. Well, no, there's a lot more going on, I guess. Yeah, trying to find an area where I can do some outdoor videos. Um, yeah, I've looked in. Yeah, I got to raise a little bit of money before I get into the Bushcraft Essentials. I'm gonna get a try out some of their burn boxes, uh, twig stoves, whatever they're calling those things nowadays. They always got to have four names for the same thing, but yeah, yeah, and that was, like I said, that was without a doubt one of the worst paintball guns or paintball markers, to be politically correct, in all of history. It's probably the best looking one, but the worst performing one overall. It was a $1,800 disappointment. Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in a paintball marker than I was with that one. Last week I thought I got a free box, but I guess I didn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah, I've been trying to keep track of everybody we shipped out to, and yeah, there was a couple people like the U.S. Postal Service took like 2.5 weeks to get a little package there from like New Hampshire to New Jersey. So I ended up sending out a second set, thinking that that one hadn't shown up, and like the day before the day after I sent the package, and he sent me a Instagram thing saying, "Oh no, I got it," and I'm like, "Oh well, there's a second set on your way." So, oh yeah, yeah, it's probably one of the coolest looking paintball markers ever made, and that's just the little diagram that you saw. And in real life, the thing is like, it's sweet, comes in this little custom fitted case and all that, all the bling bling, but yeah, when it mattered, it didn't work. So all that bling bling wasn't worth it. Gear Goons, what's happening, my man? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. How are you doing this fine evening, man? We're just hanging out, talking shop, whatever comes up. I didn't have a whole lot planned for tonight, so and yeah, I try not to get into that too much new stuff all the time too, because then it just becomes about new stuff. Yeah, so yeah, not too much going on. Yeah, I'm still researching into the doing the beeswax candles like I talked about. But kind of got to recoup some of the expense I did from the other two projects before I can really start that one. But it's still in the works. It's still going to happen. I'm still going to do it. Trial and error. What could possibly go wrong? And yeah, I got to look into upgrading the internet service because the lag for some reason lately has been outrageous. In fact, I think yeah, we lost internet like 3 4 times today. So I'm sure the bad weather and all that has a little bit to do with it. But Yeah. Just making my rounds throughout the lives. What fix are you showing off today? Yeah, today Gear Goons is the Phobos Knives Tier 1 Mini. It's an CPM 154 CM. It's kind of been my fixed blade EDC. Um, I just carry it in Kydex with an easy clip and just clip it right on the pocket there, the front pocket. And yeah, that's what I've been EDCing now for at least a few months. And I've switched back and forth between the Tier 1 Mini and this one, but I kind of like to keep the Mini sharp, and I have that piggybacked with the Tier 1 BC. So I kind of have those two set up as my field knives, and then this is my EDC, along with the Spyderco Sage 5 carbon fiber. And also been carrying the Leatherman Surge. But yeah, I think for EDC, I think the Wave Plus or something a little bit small. Like the Surge is like king off the pavement, but I think on the pavement, something a little less would be a little bit more. Yeah, Chaos. I'll definitely do that. I can do that after the live. I got my phone tied up for the live, so yeah, it's yeah, the design of the blade, the forward end of it is called a Persian swedge. And what it's actually it's not just aesthetic, it's functional. It'll allow the blade to flex before it'll snap. So it definitely adds to the usability and quality of the blade. Yeah, these are great little knives. Definitely my favorite fixed blade EDC now. Oh yeah, I've got just about the only thing I'm missing from Phobos knives at this point is the combat tomahawk. The Yeah, that's the only one I'm missing. I've got everything else though. Yeah, we'll see how it looks on this new mat. Yeah, this is the little brother to the Tier 1 Mini. Same blade design and everything. It's a half inch shorter to on the blade to make it legal in more states, and then it's got the skeletonized scales. That would be the smallest one. The next size. This one I like as well. I gotta do something different with the sheath though. But this is the Phobos Calcula, and these are in S35 VN steel. Sweet knife as well. I've actually got two of those. I've got the that one. That's got red G10 liners with micarta scales. Trying to get it out of the sheath here. And then I've got this version as well with the PVD coating, red G10 liners, but with carbon fiber scales. And that's also S35 VN steel. And then as a great all around field knife, which probably needs a cleaning because I haven't cleaned it in a minute. This is the Tier 1 BC in Magna Cut. It's got this sweet little ferro rod notch cutout, which yeah, throw a half-inch ferro rod on this and you got a flamethrower. Definitely very cool. It also has the bow drill divot in the scales, which does go through to the tang. It's a full tang, obviously, but the bow drill divot goes through the scale to the tang, so you're not cooking the scales with friction. It actually goes through to the steel. And this is the Phobos knife Solaris, and this is in CPM 3V. This is kind of like a camp kitchen knife on steroids. It'll do just about anything you can baton. Yeah, it's a solid made knife. This one has black G10 liners with ivory white scales. They're just kind of like an off-white. And like I said, CPM 3V steel. And that's pretty much what's available on there now. He is coming out with a Tier 1 C Gen 3. I have a custom Tier 1C. This is in CPM 3V. This is 12 and a quarter inches overall. And yeah, love this knife. This is actually a custom one that Eric Hansen had made for me back in like 2019. But yeah, great knife all the way around. Kind of like the big brother, the predecessor to the Tier 1 BC. Yeah, Gear Goons. These are sweet knives, man. And Eric Hansen is the designer and the owner of FOBOS Knives. And FOBOS is for operators by operators. And it is a disabled veteran owned company. So, yeah, he was, Eric Hansen was a Green Beret for 22 years. He was an 18 Delta Special Forces medic. So yeah, he's got plenty of knife use, and then in his years out, like post military, he's been a knife designer. So yeah, that's kind of like what's currently available through Phobos. But yeah, he is coming out with a Gen 3 to this knife. So this should be coming back on the market as with well, obviously some changes a little bit different from this one. This one's got a convex grind and stuff. I don't know what the grind is going to be on the Gen 3. Like I said, this is a custom version that he had done up for me. Um, but yeah, sweet knife. It's not like ridiculously big, but it's big enough you could do some light chopping, some light delimbing or something if you drop something small. Yeah, definitely a lot of use. And we've still got some of the Troll Hunting Club patches if anybody's interested in those. Who the 281 number? Yeah, no clue about the 281 number. Got me on that one. So what I like about these knives is it. Let me see if I can fit all of them on the table here. Well, that's a first world problem to have, huh? Oh, I don't know if I can fit all my fancy knives on the same table. Is there enough room? Oh yeah, we can do it. There's a will, there's a way, right? Well, that's actually should we line it up with the top? We got to have this squared away dress right dress. Are you down with OCD? Yeah, you know me. Yeah, that looks good, right? It's not symmetrical, but it is, concurrent. So yeah, and then I also have this is the Phobos Knives Tier 1 Mini. This is the Gen 2. And then this is the Gen 3. So you can get a kind of an idea of how those changed. I think he definitely got a. I definitely like the blade design on the Gen 2 better. It's got more steel to it. You can sharpen it a little bit more. So I'm pretty excited to see what the Tier 1 C Gen 3 is. Donnie, what's happening, brother man? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. We're playing with knives. It's probably what sucked you in here, huh? You're like, oh look, shiny sharp things. I must see them. How you doing, Donnie? Another day in paradise. So yeah, so that's kind of the knife. That's what I got going on for knives. These right here, well, minus this one. This is my quick transparency because I don't really believe in safe queens or anything like that. But I get a lot of those comments like how often you use those knives and all that stuff. But this one here, I do pamper. This is the first ever not off the shelf custom made knife that I've ever owned in my entire life. So I might have a tendency to pamper it a little bit. I won't be cutting any cinder blocks in half or frying pans or any of that geeky stuff. Not with this knife, at least. So, but yeah. So I do pamper the knives a little bit. Like, yeah, and then yeah, it's cool because all my knives still have a story. Like either Eric Hansen hooked me up with them, like this one, Mrs. Bushcraft and the kids kind of pitched in and got me this one for Christmas, and then yeah, Eric Hansen sent me this one for Christmas as well, the Alaris, and yeah, the set that I got, these two, these I bought back in 2019. Yeah, 2020 put a damper into how I was using stuff. But so that's like I said, my first custom set that I've ever owned. And then the tier one mini and the mini and the tier one BC were gifted to the channel so we could do some field testing and whatnot. A lot of people knew that. I'm just reiterating for the new people. Yeah, the people like you don't use those knives. I do. Um, yeah, like the tier one BC. There's a lot of people in this chat that can attest. This thing started a couple hundred fires in a few months with the ferro rod notch. It's a beast. So yeah, something we were doing on the lives. We were testing different types of fire starters before we came out with the pyro puck version, which is our channel version of the fire starters. But we tried a few different recipes and we burned a whole bunch of shit in the house. And I didn't get in as much trouble as I thought I was going to. So at some point I'll probably do it a second time. And we'll depending on the level of trouble I get into that time, we'll decide if there's going to be a repeat. So yeah, so that's the knives. I also still have my Spartan Blades knives, which I think are I think they're officially retired now. Um, yeah, I always do the piggyback thing on the front here. This is the Spartan Blades Enyo. And all these are in S35 VN steel. So I know they're making them in like S45 VN steel. I don't know what the difference is, but these were this is the Horkos. And it actually it's got a nice like little bit of a mirror polish to it just from stropping it. I mostly strop my knives and maintain the honing and all that, and hardly ever have to actually put them on a stone. Your knives will last a lot longer. A little maintenance goes a long way, is what the parachute rigger loves to say. I don't know. You guys don't know that, but I know that. But it's the truth, I swear to God. Properly maintain your gear, especially if your life depends on it. And then the third knife, which I love this knife as well. This is a great, if you're going to EDC, like especially IWB or something, as a self-defense knife, the Frike is the bomb diggity. It's super sleek. Yeah, the sheath that comes with it, not so good for that. Nice little field carry, though. I would recommend the Kydex if you're going to do that. And in fact, a lot of times I would just take the belt loop off and just pocket this thing. I don't know why I got in the habit of putting knives in pockets, even fixed blades. I think before it was trendy. I've done it with the Enyo. I've done it with this, and that's how I carry this the Tier 1 Mini now. I actually have a lot of knives. Such a first world problem. I'm stoked about this. There's a lot of, I know it's not a lot. I know a lot of people got way more knives, but I usually just have with what I need, and that's it. Traveling a lot for skydiving, I didn't, you spend a fortune in shipping and whatnot. So, yeah, I got in the habit of like, geez, for like 5-6 years, I had these three knives. And like I mentioned, I had the ZT-0200 folder. And then I ended up giving that to my daughter. And I replaced the ZT-0200 with the Spartan Blades Palas button lock and blackout, which was like the perfect set of, like, I don't know, it covered everything I needed, minus a spoon and a fork, which I have the Sea to Summit spoon and fork. So yeah, that's all you really need. And a butter knife. Like for some reason, like spreading butter with a fancy, like a hunting survival bushcraft knife, it just doesn't work the same as a butter knife. So I always had like that three-piece Sea to Summit utensil set along with these and a folder, which I was changing all that out. But yeah, I've always been into that piggyback design. I don't know. I don't even think I can buy a knife now. Like if I look at something as a primary carry knife, it's like, okay, well, what is the piggyback knife for that going to be? Like so with the tier one C, it ended up being the tier one mini, and then the tier one BC with the tier one mini. And that's like perfect. They complement each other. There's not too much overlap. And if you're around like, a bunch of gram weenies or just standard hiking geeks, so oh no, you have a knife or something, like the big knives freak them out. So you can take out a little knife and like, oh look how cute that is, and I don't know, you guys know what I'm saying. Um, and yeah, once I got to get like an easy clip or something for my calculus sheaths, and I'm gonna start rotating that out. But I've enjoyed carrying both. Like the cool, yeah, I enjoy both of them. The tier one mini and the mini. And you can get, I have a trainer as well. Like, oh, more knife problems. So I have the trainer, which is awesome. The trainer comes with the, yeah, helps if I put it in the right way, right? It comes with the Kydex sheath, but then the cool part is not only does it fit the trainer, and the trainer is the same exact as the mini. It's just non-beveled, so you can work on your draw. You can do some flashy, I don't know, like play Steven Seagal, whatever it is you do with your knife. Um, so you can fit the regular tier one mini in there as well, but you can also fit the tier one mini. So I find myself like for a while, I was just I'd grab the sheath every day, and then just whatever knife I wanted, I could grab. Or if I wanted to go, full Bruce Lee in the mirror to get the trainer out, wouldn't you like to be a ninja too, or something? That little thing going on. Yeah, I was burning stuff and blaming it on chaos, but it didn't work. That's the benefit to you living 2,000 miles away. That's why I can like, oh yeah, chaos made me do it, or. Did you know the butter knife is the most dangerous knife because of how much pressure you put on the knife trying to cut? Yeah, but I never try to cut something with a butter knife. Like I just look at it. It's like for spreading stuff. Um, yeah, the right tool for the job. Like, yeah, you got to be OCD about it. Like the butter knife is like if you got, you're gonna put some peanut butter on there, a little fluffernutter or something, a little jelly, peanut butter and jelly, or maybe you're gonna put a little butter on the toast. It's for spreading stuff. Um, yeah, that's all I've ever used it for. If any cutting to do, I do the cutting with the sharp ones. But yeah, there's times where I'm like, geez, just a butter knife would be great. So yeah, I was riding and I had like a spoon and a fork, and I went through the spork phase, and then I saw that Sea to Summit three-piece set. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get that. And yeah, I've had that thing now. I've had the same Sea to Summit three-piece set for I don't know 10, 12 years, and then I ended up because of the pot I was using, I added the long spoon, the long handle spoon. I highly recommend that. A long handle spoon, priceless. Yeah, worth its weight in gold. And then you feel a little bit more like less like a savage and more like a civil human being when you're out camping and you got a three-piece utensil set. It just puts a little. Yeah, Donnie, you know it. Yeah, we're spreading stuff. That's yeah, Donnie knows. So that's my whole knife world. And then yeah, this bad boy here. Look at that. Who's the cool kid now? I think I've actually got this down now. I don't. When I first got it, I was missing a lot. Like maybe 30%, 35%. I'd do something like that. But yeah, now I got it down. I think now I'm gonna have to learn a new cool trick. So Yeah, what else have we got going on? So that's my I get that totals like the last 15 years of knives in my life. Like, yeah, when you include these right here, yeah, this is the last 15 years. And most of it within the last year. So yeah, we're gonna be going out doing some testing, just some standard field use and stuff. Nothing nothing extreme, you know. I don't know. You never know. Whatever the situation dictates. But like I said, I probably won't be doing any, you know, smashing frying pans in half or cinder blocks or bricks or, you know, like oh, look at my knife cut granite. No, I don't really see the purpose. Um Hoggy, how you doing, my man? Good to see you. Camel French English. How's it going, Camel? How are you doing this fine evening? Yeah, so I guess, yeah. That's my Phobos knives lineup with the trainer and the custom set. But like we said, sheaths are equally as important. So I guess we can I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't like the sound of stuff banging together. This is the sheath for my tier 1 mini, and I do have it piggybacked. This was a scout carry straps, but I moved the second straps down, lined them up, and then just passed them through the belt loop on the tier 1 mini sheath, and that's how I attach that there. Nothing fancy, nothing custom. It's just the stock stuff rearranged a smidge, and that's how I would carry these. Like I said, I'm a junkie when it comes to the piggyback. I can't avoid that one. I don't know. I started doing that back in the day with like the Gerber LMF and BMF. They had a strap that went around the sheath, and I would put like their multi tool or a Gerber Gator on there. That's where that habit started. And then I did a similar thing on the Tier 1C. I've got the Exotac Ferrorod XL and the Olight i5T, the AA version. And on this one, I've got the i3T EOS, the AAA version, the Exotac Fire Rod, standard. It's the V2. And then same thing with this one. I've got the Tier 1 BC mounted on the back like that. Someday when I can get into custom kydex, I want to build some sheaths like this and whatnot. And then, yeah, like I said, the Tier 1 mini on here. And it's mounted the same way. Yeah, I do have a little P38 can opener in the back. Never leave home without one. Probably one of mankind's greatest contributions to the world in the last 200 years, the P38 can opener. And yeah, yeah, so all these YouTube videos, you know, smashing open cans and stuff like that with your knife, just carry one of these out. It's far more effective. You don't have to worry about damaging your knife. And if you damage one of these, they're like, you know, 75 cents a piece. If you don't have two of these, like yeah, got to have those bad boys. You can tuck them in just about anywhere, and they'll stay there. I usually use like a piece of tape or something to put over it. But yeah, that's that. And let's see. Then the standard sheath for the calculas is Kydex Dangler, which is fully reversible. All of these sheaths are ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter lefty or righty. You're good to go. But yeah, all good sheaths. They're solid. They're no shake, no rattle, all that good fancy YouTube sayings. Which I guess is more of a military thing than not. And then the Tier 1 Mini comes with a leather sheath, and it's good quality leather. It's all handcrafted for Phobos knives. And yeah, this is the Gen 3 version. It comes with a retention strap. The Gen 2 didn't have that. And if you don't like the retention strap, you can remove it. Just with a Phillips head, it'll come out. Um, and then a flat head on the back here, and you can remove the retention strap if you decide you don't want it. If you're just going to use it like a pocket slip or something. And this is the sheath that the Tier 1 Mini is in, is just a slightly smaller version of this, and I have it mounted on the piggyback here. So that's pretty much oh yeah, and then the Alaris comes in a Kydex sheath. Same thing, it's fully ambidextrous. You can just reverse the dangler. You can put your own like molly clips or anything, whatever, you know, all that standard Kydex stuff. And there you have it. Kapow, that's all the fancy knives. Oh, I don't think I didn't hide anybody's comment. If somebody's comment got hidden, it would be YouTube. Um yeah, no, I don't know who Polywog, what's happening, man? How you doing? Yeah, I think YouTube hid that. I didn't hide it. I just yeah. Nope, but yeah, I made LC a moderator so it won't happen again. So yeah, how you doing, Polywog? Welcome to the chat. What are you EDCing today, my man? We're just playing a little knives. Please take away the wrench. I suppose I can. All right, yeah, it should be gone, my man. Yeah, I think yeah, for some odd reason, I don't know why, but I think YouTube blocked that. I haven't blocked a comment all night. I'm EDC my true knives and my yeah, Polywog, how's the Altoid videos coming along? Man, I had one out a while ago. I have one. I don't know why I have one, but I have an Altoid 10. I think just, you know, in case someday I don't know. I see that's a societal brainwashing. I was brainwashed to save an Altoid 10 just in case I want to make a save my life with everything in this 10. Gotta go pick up my drunk brother. Have a good one. All right, Donnie. Yeah, you have a good one too, my man. Good luck with that. Hopefully, it all comes out well. Yep. Donald did. He doesn't seem to be able to reply now. Who? I'm confused. The Altoids thing is on a long hiatus. Dealing with some family issues. Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, family first, dude. You definitely got to take care of family, and yeah, I think yeah, it's just the way life works. I think just about everybody would agree with that, man. Solid decision. So yeah. Um, I'll do the slim and stuff when things are brighter. You know what, Polywog? Maybe you need to do it just you know, um, do something a little different, get your mind off other stuff. Maybe taking like 20 or 30 minutes out to just, make a fun little video might be a pleasant distraction, so maybe that might, I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody has different ways of handling stuff, but yeah, maybe that's not a bad plan. Give it a shot and see how it works. Martello, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, Elsie. Yeah, at least I got an excuse now. Like, at least I'm older. I got enough gray hair so that when I say, "Oh, I'm getting old," I forget stuff. People are like, "Oh yeah, it's not like when you were like a teenager and you tried telling you, oh, Dad, I forgot to take out the trash." What do you mean you forgot? At least when you're old, people start believing that crap. So do you use any leather lube on the leather sheets? Yeah, I use Wicked Wax, which I don't have any out right now. I don't think I got some somewhere. Yeah, I use Wicked Wax to boom, boom. Is it gonna focus? Focus says me. We need a manual focus sometimes. I mean, that would just be better. But yeah, I use Wicked Wax and on the leather, on the steel, on just about everything. It's good on I use it on my axe as well on the hickory handle. Um, yeah, Wicked Wax is pretty much what I've been using for quite a while now, actually. Martello, I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 now. There's because this one's not on here, and this one's not on here. I think this one only counts as a half because it's the non-beveled trainer, so it only counts as a half a knife. But yeah, I got quite the little collection going now. Yes, yeah. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. No, man, I've got 9. Pow, yeah. I got this one too. This is a satin finish tier 1 mini. It's the same exact as this one. Just satin and PVD. So yeah, I've got way more knives than what I need, but that's cool because I'll use them more than average. Hopefully, doing YouTube, and so yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right, guys? You can own that many knives. Yeah, I know. I'm almost like a knife collector guy now. 9 knives. That's like 291 more. Now I'll be a cool kid. um, well, I would never own that. In fact, I kind of want to. I still want to sell my Spartan blades because what the hell am I going to do with all these knives? Like I've already used the Spartan blades a whole bunch and they're fun and I like them, but there's only so much room. And yeah, the Virginia Bushcrafter, what's happening? Welcome to the chat. How are you doing this fine evening? We're playing with knives as usual. I figure we haven't had a solid straight up just Phobos Friday in a few weeks. Well, probably more than a few weeks. Like they come out, but along with we've gotten into that the passive hunting and fishing, small game with the slingshots and the reel. And I'm into the digging tools and the axes and yeah, I'm definitely everybody knows I love silky saws, but I think everybody would agree that your fixed blade knife is the centerpiece to whatever it is you're doing. Like it's the centerpiece to your gear universe. So I figured we'd have another good yeah, just a good solid Phobos Friday and geeking out on gear. Oh, Virginia Bushcrafter, those are done. And I ended up doing them 2 for 20. Um Yeah, and they're coming in the black tin like this. I think you saw the tin. I don't know if you saw the sticker, but there it is right there. And then there's 6 in a tin. These are neo green. Get it? Neo green neo. A little play on the Matrix there. He's the funny guy now. But yeah, these are all done, and yeah, we've shipped out a few already, and Yeah, those are yeah, they're awesome. I think they came out great. Well, we're having a good time with them. Brown Sugar, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. How you doing this evening? Uh, make different to go bags with different sets of knives. That's what I would do, especially if you're going to do some out in the bush. Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. Like, what I like, I've got everything covered. I really do. Just with Phobos knives, and when he comes out with his folders, then it'll be 100%. Right now, I'm at like 80%. But yeah, it covers everything from like EDC to some heavy duty bushcraft and stuff. So yeah, this is the Alaris is kind of like my designated camp kitchen cooking knife is what I'm going to do. And I've been aggressively home testing this, not field testing this. We don't want to lie. But I have been home testing this aggressively in the kitchen here at the Bushcraft Rebooted residence, and yeah, and I've let other people in the house try. Mrs. Bushcraft has done a little slicey with it, along with a few other people, and they're all digging it. So yeah, this is going to be my. In fact, I'm even thinking I might like take the dangler off if I'm bringing multiple knives. I'll take the dangler off. Be a gram weenie about it. Like, oh man, that's like 12 grams. But yeah, we can slot that in there along with the cutting board or something else, and kind of have a more fulfilled kitchen or something. With a few other things, I want to do upgrades for the camp kitchen. I don't know, we'll call it a bushcraft kitchen. We'll get more cool points for it, like it makes a freaking difference. Um, Drift LA, what do you think of the Gerber? I think the Gerber strong arm. Oh, here we go. When they came out with it and it was $30, yeah, go for it. Like what are you going to lose with $30? But then they jacked the price up to $90, and so it's kind of like a shit deal. I mean, not a good deal. It's not a good deal after that. But then there's so many knockoffs of it, and the knockoffs are even being processed through Amazon and Walmart that you're rolling the dice buying one. Maybe like years ago, maybe I don't know. Not something I would spend my money on though. Thinks he's cutting off his zippers and leaving his lighter behind because it's too. Yeah, man, lighters are heavy, dude. Especially, no, I'm not gonna leave the lighter behind. I'll do it like true Graham Weenie fashion. I'll dump all the fuel out of the lighter to save weight, and then I'll bring the lighter with me because that makes sense. Oh yeah, yeah, Virginia Bushcrafter. I've had the Gerber LMF and the BMF. We were talking about that a little while ago. That's where I started the piggyback thing. I'm not sure which model you have, but they used to come with that mid strap on the sheath. It was a nylon strap, and it had like two snaps on the back. That's when I really started piggybacking stuff. I either had like the Gerber Flick It multiplier that I got at the PX, or the Gerber Gator. And on one or the other, the LMF I had maybe the multiplier, and the BMF I had the Gerber Gator. Vice versa. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't owned this stuff now in like 20 years. I got rid of it, but yeah. I mean, Gerber was a good brand back in the day, but like a lot of companies, I think they've sold out. And is there better on the market? Absolutely, yeah. Like there's a lot better than Gerber. Like anybody watch DBK this week? Yeah, I think it was this week's one where they had that SOG knife and the blade was just falling apart like paper. Like like fried the edge or something. Uh, Sharpening it or putting the bezel on or something. But I mean, that's kind of like how downhill a lot of companies have gone. Um, my lighter road big lighter case makes my big lighter like 10 times heavier now. It weighs enough as a nearly empty soda can. So heavy. Yeah, yeah. The more bells and whistles you throw on there, the more it's gonna weigh. That's just unfortunately the Yeah, that's how it works. But I've never weighed my gear, but I've always made like conscious decisions of what I should and shouldn't bring, and what's worth the weight or not. And I guess it depends on what you've got planned. Sometimes you've got more planned, and it's worth carrying some. I've even done it where I had like a handbag, a couple of like small hand duffel bags. I've carried extra gear, extra groceries out with me. Um, Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. The lives are definitely 100% 18 plus. But yeah, the long form, if you want to sit down with the kids or something, I can edit. Well, as soon as I learn how to edit properly and stuff, I'll be able to edit that stuff out or cut it out. But yeah, the lives are the lives 18 plus, and if you're lightly offended, then yeah, you probably just don't belong here, Sally. So you might want to go find some safe live chat or something, a safe place or whatever they call that crap for the Sally McSallies. I do like the idea of ultralight. Yeah, yeah. Polywog, the idea of ultralight, it's awesome. It really is. But um, yeah, know what you're doing, and if you're gonna go ultralight, don't be a scumbag and borrow all the gear from everybody else. Like, I'm gonna go ultralight, not carry a stove, but when I get to the lean-to or something, they're always like, "Can I borrow your stove?" And then they want to borrow your fuel too. Like, how the fuck are you gonna give that back? Like, so yeah, there's Graham Weenies, that are, yeah, some of them are just like self-entitled, self-righteous little weenies. I think that's Graham Weenie. Yeah, that's why we call them Graham Weenies. But the ultralight, yeah, it can be the way to go, especially if you're covering some serious long distance. But don't ultralight yourself into danger because those are the human popsicles that are getting plucked off the mountaintops every winter up here, like in the White Mountains, are the ones that, they packed too light, but they didn't bring, like, they ended up popsicles. So, yeah, fire kit, that's stupid weight. Why carry that? You're never going to use it. And then they get plucked off being a human popsicle. So, no, I didn't come up with Graham Weenies. That's kind of like it's a fairly common hiking terminology, like the hiking community. Um, yeah, no, I didn't invent that. I take no claim to the invention of it, but I sure do like to abuse it a lot. That I'll fully admit to. But yeah, I didn't invent that. That's not my creation. That's some, I don't know who came out with it. They just yeah, it's what they call them. But yeah, I think that especially in the bushcraft community, they get into that, like ultra, like minimalist, extreme survival situation, where like, oh, what, I forget who it was. Somebody came in here like, oh, extreme emergency survival. What three things are you bringing into the woods with you? Like, man, if I'm going into an extreme survival situation, I'm not bringing three things. I'm gonna have like the heaviest backpack I can carry, and I'll be pushing a wheelbarrow with the kitchen sink in it. Uh, Grim Granite makes some types of sketches. He never called them that. Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's one of those older things. Like I heard it a while ago, and I'm bringing it back. Um, Team gear application can be a thing if you are into that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, ground fog is spot on with that. Yeah, like team gear, like, yeah, you can go in a four-man, like go out hiking with four people, whatever, and that's where you bring like a four-person tent, and like one person's carrying the cook kit, another person's carrying like the water filtration, some other stuff, and then you might split up that tent between two people, and then everybody carries their own, individual sleeping bag and air mattress, whatever. So yeah, that is definitely a group gear. We used to do that a lot. Um, in Civil Air Patrol, we did that a lot where we would, divide up certain gear between a squad and yeah, certain people like carry the tent poles and so on and so forth. Joseph Allen, us that just hyperbole, or are you saying it's based on concrete information? Is not us. Yeah, Joseph Allen, I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Concrete information about what? Like the people getting picked off the mountain every year because they're inequipped. It happens every year in the White Mountains. You could look that up easily. Surviving behind liberal lines. Again, I only have enough time to like and leave. Sorry, I could not stay longer this time. No worry. We'll catch you on the next one. I gotta maybe start making these a little more frequent. And yeah, yeah. I'm trying to do that thing like they say you should keep to a schedule on YouTube. So I'm really trying to stick to Sunday nights and Friday nights at 8 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. but I really feel like I could be doing more. So I'm kind of I resist it throughout the week. Like there's multiple times where I'm like, oh, I really want to just throw up a random live and see what everybody's up to and geek out on some gear. But then I'm like, oh, I got to try to stick more to the schedule and get more things done. When you said it's people who went to ultralight that are needing rescue, yeah, Joseph Allen, that's a fact. It's not like a some guess. It's not some like condescending, belittling thing. It's just a fact that the majority of people that are rescued are usually ill-equipped, and they usually it's people that have gone the extreme lightweight route. You know, their Dynamo pack, and yeah, that's just an absolute fact. It's not my opinion. Yeah, yeah, Virginia Bushcrafter. It's difficult. I mean, I'm really putting 110% into this. Like I said, it's actually I'm restraining myself by not doing more lives. Like I think I was having more fun doing, you know, like some of the random lives that we had during the week and stuff were awesome. So I'll probably go back around to that. But I don't know. I kind of during the warmer months I want to try to get out more and get more outdoor videos done. So that'll free me up if I start obligating myself to start doing multiple lives during the week, then it starts closing that off. Um, yeah, yeah, Joseph, it's really sad, man. It is super sad. And I grew up in New Hampshire, and I've always followed the White Mountains of Mount Washington. I used to ski Tuckerman's Ravine when I was in high school. I went up there a couple seasons skiing, did some ice climbing there, and the mentality of the outdoor world in general, I've watched it changed over there over the last, 30, 40 years, whatever. And it's actually it's gotten like worse, not better. There's more people making mistakes. There's more people that are getting into the Graham Weenie lifestyle, and it happens in skydiving too. Skydiving people will oftentimes progress to a smaller parachute than what they can handle, and so they're using gear that's beyond their skill set. And believe it or not, like 99% of all parachute accidents nowadays are from they're under fully functioning, fully open parachutes. It's pilot error and usually lack of skill and experience with the parachute that they're trying to land. Al Triano, what's happening, my man? How you doing tonight? But seeing the blades makes it worth it for the times I can get on. Yeah, the blades. I actually, man, sometimes I like them better out of the sheath than you see the knife, but the sheaths are just as nice. You like the piggyback setups. Like it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like all the knives are, but yeah, and the sheath is just. I think that's why you need more knives, and you can have both. I could have like this set in the sheath, and then have the knives next to it. That would that would be crazy. Al, how you doing, my man? You been getting out doing any slingshotting or? What's the best middle ground parachute? The best for most variety. The best all around parachute that I would recommend to somebody who's not on student status, who has at least 100 jumps, I would recommend the Performance Design Saber 2. They're out of DeLand, Florida. John LeBlanc is the owner, and he makes some of the best parachutes ever made. And that would be a well-rounded, and it's not just the type; it's also the size you're wing loading. It's going to be a huge variable. So yeah, and I always recommend like nothing greater than a 1-to-1. Oh, you're back to work. Well, that's good news, Al. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, no worries, man. Take care of business first. It's always good seeing you though. Leon, what's happening, my man? How you doing tonight? But yeah, see if I miss any questions. I stick to the 10 C's at a minute. Yeah, yeah, Virginia Bushcrafter. Yeah, the 10 C's minimum. But man, before that time, I just man, I just do a gear laid of everything that I want to bring with me, and then just haul it. Um, I think that's the way, and because there's so many variables depending on what time of year and um all that. I think that there's a little too much focus on the 5 C's or the 10 C's or the 3 W's or the 4-H's or whatever else. There's way too much of that. Like in just like there's some stuff like in the like out in the Midwest when I was out in Nevada, New Mexico, that area. There's tons of stuff I just wouldn't even bother bringing out there. Versus here in the Northeast in New Hampshire, there's like I would bring an axe here, but there's no point in really having one in Nevada, depending on where you're at. Yeah, as if their sub 5 pound base weight gives them legitimacy or maybe more YouTube views. Yeah, there's so much fake stuff out there. It's not even funny. Native Wild Man, what's happening, man? Yeah, I've been seeing you do some fishing. I love ultralight gear, but full comfort, carry all the stuff you need ultralight. I don't understand why some people fixate on the base weight to the point it becomes unreasonable. Yeah, Joseph Allen, that's totally legitimate. Yeah, I do like ultralight gear in the fact that you can lighten a few things, then you might be able to carry a little bit more, like if, yeah, you switch out to a few titanium products or something, reduce the weight while still having a quality, dependable item. And then you could, maybe be a geek like me and yeah, drop enough weight off your bike so that I spent like a couple grand extra for the Shimano XTR system to drop some grams and ounces or whatever. And I made some other changes on my bike, like carbon fiber seat posts and things like that. But then I put all that weight right back on with a Helionox Chair 1 because the comfort's important too. Especially long distance. I like having a chair. It became a thing. So, but yeah. So I shed weight off the overall package so that I can carry that extra item that I want to carry. So I think that's where sometimes ultralight gear comes in. But at the same time, a lot of ultralight gear isn't going to have the same lifespan. It's going to have a much shorter lifespan, not the same longevity as some more solid, tough built gear. I always wondered why you thought the word uh, saw starts with C. It's an S sound, bushcraft. It is an S sound. What are you talking about? Saw? It is an S. I think he knows what he's talking about. Yeah. Then broke the frame. Yeah. But that's like one of those things I'm kind of proud of. I rode that old bike so hard I broke her back. um, but yeah, that's which is a cool thing. Nothing wrong with that. This is better than like cleaning an inch of dust off your bike. Yeah, it's a cutting tool, polywog. We clarified that one quick like a bunny. So, kapow, yeah, that's what we're. Yeah, maybe I'll put this set away. Yeah, this is a one of a kind, so it's not one of those you can't get it, or it is one of those you can't get it. Yeah, I'll maybe we'll do a couple of fire starters because we haven't done that yet tonight. Make sure I keep up 5Cs. You always include a saw, so I was just going on that. Don't know what the 5Cs are, but still starts with K. I'm just joking. I know it cuts. It cuts with a K or cuts with a C. Um, yeah, I don't really even keep track of a lot of that stuff. I like watch some of it and I'm like, okay, I get it, but not a big fan. I think really, and then I noticed because I did a couple videos on it, like test marketing, like what's the response going to be on this? Um, and you're still riding the old girl. Yeah, Leon. I'm gonna ride that bike again this season. I don't care. I can't go another season without riding, so I'll just roll the dice and cracked frame, whatever. Suck it up, Buttercup. What could possibly go wrong? Um, yeah, that's about that. Because this one time it's kind of, you said earlier you need to stop burning stuff because it was killing your lungs. I have said that, man, and it's true. Okay, I think you can hear the difference a little bit, but um, I'm gonna choose fun over my lungs. It's all right. I mean, I'm 50 years old. Like, how many more years do I need lungs for anyhow? Does it really matter? Is there a fictional character whose knives or gear you can't stand? I know Rambo used two knives I couldn't stand. Oh yeah, yeah. Rambo is definitely right up there. Rambozo. Um, yeah, that is most definitely. I don't dig it. I don't dig it because it could have been something cool. Like the guy who originally made those knives, they were good knives. But then they came out with all the crap reproduction knives of, the you guys know what I'm talking about, like crap reproduction knives of like the Rambo ones. They were just trash. Um, yeah, had they made them good, that would be awesome. Like I said, the guy who originally made those makes outstanding knives if you do a little research on it. Um, but yeah, Justin Ronan, how you doing, man? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, I would have to say, look up local welding shop. Yeah, yeah, Leon. Nobody will touch it. Nobody will. None of the welding shops will touch a bicycle frame. Yeah, for liability and stuff like that. And I guess because they try to make bicycles as light as they can, they tend to have really thin tubes. And I guess it's hard to weld or so. I'm not a welder. I'm just going based off of what the welding people have told me. I've brought it to a few places, and I always get the same answer. But it's okay. It's on a 26-inch platform. I need, yeah, which is outdated by like 15 years now or something. So yeah, I need to upgrade to like 27 and a half by 3 or 29 by 3 or something. And yeah, just get an all around new bike. Yeah, like depend, like when you get a new car, you don't worry about things going well. Maybe not nowadays, but it used to be when you got a new car so that you wouldn't have to worry about things going wrong for the first 50 or 60,000 miles. Bikes are the same way. I'd just like to build something new and get some. I'd like to do at least a couple more, like northeast, like New Hampshire to Florida, for the fun of it. And well, that'd make a cool YouTube video as well, like some of the adventures along the way. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking into. So I was smart enough to save this old one. Yeah, we'll beat this thing up. Like, yeah, let's burn more stuff. In fact, I'm even gonna like flip this one out of the way just to be safe. Man, we got a mess going on here, Bubba. Yeah, so I want to build a like like the Bionic Man. I want to build it better, stronger, faster. I don't know. I'm getting older, weaker, and slower, so at least the bike will be stronger. Maybe not faster. We'll have to get a faster rider or something, but I'm cool with that still. Oh, I need the ferro rod. Yeah, so we're still going. Pre-game and choking on smog. But yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, right? That's why I love the YouTube's comment section. There's people in there that actually like half-inch ferro rod will last you 2 to 3 weeks, and after that, what are you gonna do? Well, dude, I've definitely lit hundreds of fires with this, just since we were testing fire starters. So yeah, you most definitely get a lot more out of it than that. Oh, these are There we get some of these. Pow. Yeah, so I'm just gonna burn up a lot of the ones that we didn't use that were. So these aren't the ones that we're making, but pow. They still work. This one, if I recall, is This is just plain wax. And I made them purple for Mrs. Bushcraft, and she'll probably never use them. But it's okay. She still has some. We'll burn a few of them. She'll have plenty left over. I don't know why. I like buying her stuff like that, like the off the wall stuff. Like, um, I never know what to get her because she doesn't really want anything. So I usually get her something she needs, and then I get her something stupid just to be me. And like, yeah, I got her a silky saw as a stocking stuffer. I don't recommend you guys doing it. It's a bad plan, but it worked out pretty good for me. No, no fire. Yeah, no, we're not doing any fire, LC. But if we get caught, chaos theory. Yeah, let's burn more stuff, man. And then y'all know I give in to peer pressure. I'm highly impressionable. Yeah, these ones burn nice and slow too. So that's what we figured out. If there's no accelerant in the fire starter, you get a longer burn time, but it's not as hot. It makes sense. Like you're using an accelerant, it's going to burn hotter and faster. So you're going to be able to, maybe dry out a little bit of stuff. But yeah, that's how we do that. Well, I have the E-Ride Pro SS 2.0. Yeah, I haven't gotten into the e-bike thing yet. Wow. So I don't know for the older guys, if anybody did any skiing back in the day, um, when snowboarding first came on the scene in like mid to late '80s, when it started getting popular, and it was actually banned at a lot of ski resorts. Like there'll be no snowboarding here, and people that could ski like me, we had this natural disdain for snowboarders for no other reason than um, I don't know, they just kind of came across as kind of punky back in the day. So, but either way, we didn't really care much for them, and that's the way I feel as a cyclist with e-bikes nowadays. It's like, sissy, need a motor? But it's not personal. It's just one of those, socially weird things. And I probably just made it a lot more awkward. But yeah, man, like the e-bike thing. As a cyclist, I'm like, I have to say no to e-bikes. I have to like for as long as I can. Don't put the voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby. So yeah, so, um, I'm burping some green tinder I found in my sock drawer. That's all. Yeah, yeah, nothing wrong with a little sockland. That works as well. Did you see some of the? I saw a short where some guy was doing that. Like, he's like scraping the bottom of his sock or whatever with it with his knife, like making lint off his sock to get his fire going. And extreme survival, freaking extreme YouTube survival. Like, was your piss poor? Yeah, was your planning that piss poor that you had to scrape lint off the bottom of your sock to be able to start a fire? And that can't be healthy for your friends or for the local wildlife. It's like a hybrid car, but a bike bushcraft, like a cross between motor and bicycle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. It sounds awesome. Like it sounds popular mechanics awesome, but just not cyclist awesome. I totally agree with you, man. There's man, where's that the Rainbow Megatron? It has like front and rear motors, like two-wheel drive. You can shut off one or the other, like you can make it front wheel or back wheel or both wheel motor, and it has like an 80 or 90-mile range. Like that's cool. Like totally popular mechanics cool, but not cyclist cool. Um, my bike nut does not have pedals and is basically yeah, yeah, the electric dirt bikes. Yeah, it's in the ones that have foot pegs and no pedals, it's not even like an assist. Like that's just a motorized vehicle at that point. There's no cycling involved. At least in my opinion, but you can be your own judge. Did you see that one e-bike that was from Kickstarter? That's super overpriced and also totally garbage. Great video showing how it sucked. No, I haven't seen that one. I haven't really researched e-bikes very much. I started to a little bit, and then I saw all the e-bike fires, and all, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then the amount of like the pounds that those bikes weigh, it's like a whole touring package, and that's what you're pedaling that plus your stuff. If you run out of battery, and then how are you going to charge it? They take like hours and hours. So yeah, there's still some progression that needs to be made. I think more so in the safety aspect. They really need to make those things safer. Like I know some of it's like aftermarket, secondhand batteries and things like that. That's the problem. But I'd like to see those things a little bit safer first before I start. I don't know that, and I like the health benefits of a full on like push bike, pedal bike, bicycle. I love that. Like man, sometimes it's a little tough getting motivated to go on a ride, but I've never gone on a ride and like ended and been like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm miserable. It's always worth it. Like good exercise, you always feel positive about afterwards. Virginia Bushcraft. Um, I don't think I'll ever try the e-bike when the battery goes out. You have to pedal a lot of weight. I'll always prefer the real deal. Yeah, yeah, the Virginia Bushcrafter. Exactly. Yeah, that's the way I feel. Yeah, I was kind of mentioning that before I read your comment. Yeah, that's a lot of weight to pedal, and then you've got the issue with charging the batteries. And now, at minimum, you're going to carry a solar panel. You're going to have to find some place you can plug in and wait hours and hours for that thing to charge. Where me, like two slices and a pint, and I'm good for 40 miles. Solid. I can carry some snacks with me and extend that range easily. If you aren't prepared, you won't get into a survival situation. Prep to avoid getting into a survival situation. Yeah, I think that's how it works. I really do. I think that because, like I've said, I've never been in a true survival situation, but I've never gone out like poorly equipped or in an area I don't know where I'm really I think things through. Like we skate and skydiving. Plan your jump and then jump your plan. Yeah, so always, take the time to plan out your jump, know what the winds aloft are, know what your dive flow is going to be, know what your opening altitude is going to be, know what your landing pattern is, what the ground wind direction is, and then you jump that plan accordingly with the ability to adapt and change just in case of a wind shift or something like that. And I have that like the same thing like I started like seventh grade Civil Air Patrol. We would have a packing list for our weekend training trip, and yeah, we would have to pack everything. Make sure you pack everything, and you're all set. It's always the people that forgot things that had a problem. So I think I might have been in a like I've had a few unintentional overnighters where I didn't cover the ground I thought I was going to in a day, and I just decided to camp out. Um, but I was equipped enough to do it. It might not have been the most comfortable night out, but it wasn't like I at no point sat there going, "Oh, I think I should call rescue." It was more like, "Oh, the wife's going to be upset with me because she probably thought I had this planned, even though I didn't." But yeah, no need to be rescued. E-bikes, aka two-wheeled golf. Yeah, no, Elsie, we're talking about e-bikes and pedal bikes and standard bicycles versus e-bikes, and then my evil analogy comparing it with how skiers were towards snowboarders in the '80s, which is probably that's just me. I maybe being a little bit of an arrogant cyclist, but I'd rather pedal the bike old school, and yeah, there's something to be said for the reward of getting someplace on your own power, whether it's hiking or biking. I've always enjoyed that. Yeah, yeah, Joseph. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. Um, yeah, because if you go out there and you're prepared, then you're really kind of just camping. But that's really what it is, anyhow. It's just a different version of it. I think that there's been too much focus in the division of sports, and I've seen it in every sport there is, like rock climbing, skiing, skydiving, cycling. There's always got to be some new version of some different discipline, like rock climbing. You're either going to do like bouldering, trad, sport climbing, speed climbing, big wall climbing, aid climbing, and then you've got your variants of grades in between. Bouldering's on this V series, and free climbing is like the 5.5 and up. It was originally the based off the Dewey Decimal System. Rock climbing was supposed to cap at 5.9 plus or something, and then when you got to level 6, that's now aid climbing. But they found ways to make it more and more difficult year after year. So it went like 510, 511, 512. It's not really a decimal. It should be like 6.2. But to keep it in the level 5 free climbing category, they just progressed it up that way. Like aid climbing is like A1, A2, A3, A4. A5 technically supposedly doesn't exist or whatever, but then you've got like the plus or minus variables in the grading system. What's an activity that I think is too dangerous to be worth it? I think exploring an uncharted cave. Nope to that. Yeah, I would have to say like the extreme spelunking or something is not really worth it. But the one thing that I think is an absolute like high risk, low return, like super high danger, like worse than base jumping even, and that's bungee cord jumping because it's a completely unregulated activity. Nobody really has to know anything. They can suck at math, and if you got a credit card, you can order like the whole bungee jumping experience kit and build your business with one order of gear off the internet. And it's completely unregulated, and like some Yahoo is guessing the calculation for your bungee cord. We don't even know if he's got a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? So I think the highest, worst risk activity by far is bungee jumping. At least base jumpers have a skydiving background to fall back on typically, and they're guided through like it starts in skydiving. It used to. There's a few people that we don't approve of that'll teach people direct base jumping, but you really need to learn better canopy piloting skills before you start base jumping, and you do that through skydiving. So um, I think walking through Florida wearing a bunch of gold is dangerous. Yeah. There's worse places in Florida for sure. But yeah, chaos. You're totally right. Um, yeah, I think. Yeah, there's some places like there's parts of Savannah, Georgia, on Route 17. Because I used to do a lot of my route on Route 17. Follows right up and down the coast there. Um, Yeah, there's like all kinds of places. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Like this is not healthy. Yeah. So when you when you're scared of a neighborhood and you jump out of airplanes for a living, then it's pretty it's some tweaky environment. Oh, there we go. One strike and done. Um, oh yeah, Justin. I've lived all over Florida as well. Florida can be entertaining. Like I've lived literally like Orlando, Zephyr Hills, Sebastian, Clewiston, the Tampa Bay area, like South Lakeland, um, where Plant City, Lower Sugarloaf Key, like working in Skydive Key West, and I've been all over Florida. I've been at one, yeah, Lake Wales is another one I used to frequent. Yeah, I've lived all over Florida. I used to change like every season. I would come work in the Northeast for spring, summer, fall, and go work somewhere in Florida in the winter. So I'd change it up quite a bit, but yeah. Ybor City's the ghetto there. Yeah, in fact, oh man, I used to go know the guy, the Tampa Brewing Company, that real nice brewing company. Like it's right down, not too far from the ocean in Tampa. The owner, he was a skydiver. Well, he was a student. That's how I met him. But yeah, I used to go to that all the time, and we started having this like free fall Friday, and every Friday night at the bar, it would raffle off a not raffle, but would have a random giveaway and some tandem gift certificates, and people would come to the drop zone and do tandems. Um, 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 Japanese chair. Yeah, Paulie. Well, I think I've seen that the Japanese charcoal. Is that the stuff that sounds like metal when they hit it, like ting ting ting? It's some like super. I forget what it is. I like Ocala area, but only for a short time. Yeah, then I'm ready to come home. I think a lot of places are like that. A lot of places I've been are great in dosages, but sometimes I just can't wait to leave. That's just how it is. Like it's fun to visit. It's an activity. Like Duval Street in Key West. Like once you've spent a couple nights on Duval Street, um, yeah, you've had enough. That's it for the season. Maybe I'll go a couple times again next year. Vegas was the same way when I worked in Boulder City, Nevada, which is like you've got like Las Vegas and then Henderson and then Boulder City, which Boulder City has got some awesome downhill mountain biking there. Bootleg Canyon, they had like the 2007 Downhill Nationals there. But at the Boulder City Airport is where Skydive Las Vegas is, and I would make a couple trips to the main Vegas, and we went to all the Bellagio, the MGM, the Circus, whatever, all that stuff, the Stratosphere. Of course, we went up there. But yeah, once you've seen it, once you've done it, it's like all right, now I'm off to do other stuff. And I actually most of the time I spent in the Las Vegas area, I spent mountain biking around Bootleg Canyon, Lake Mead, and there's a cool little hot springs secret place you can sneak out to that's down by Hoover Dam. It's kind of like a local yokel spot. But yeah, yeah. Once I've lived someplace for a while, it's like I go check out the area. Like I was in Rocheron, Texas, and I went and checked out Houston. That was like a 1 day thing. It's like, yeah, no need to. I'm not a big city person. I'm all set with that. Then I went south to Galveston, and I got like a cool duck boat tour, like the amphibious thing. They drive you around the streets, talk to you about Galveston, the historical stuff behind Galveston. Then they take you out on the water, and it's a cool little ride. Um, I miss Riverview before they started building all the condos in the woods that I used to camp in. Um, oh yeah, yeah. I'll see all the microbrew places. They're all like, $12 a beer for a pint, or they'll sell you like some little like a series of 2 ounce samplers for $20. You just paid $20 for 12 ounce six samplers. Like $20 for 12 ounces of beer. Oh, hit you up if I go out to Yosemite. I would love to go out to Yosemite. I don't know. I'm tired of popular places. Like I don't like them anymore. Like if you go up to the White Mountains, there's more people like gathered up on the trail than you'll find in any mall nowadays. There's just the amount of people that are out there is just like like it looks like Everest. Like everything is all the popular places, they're overcrowded and you're like trying to go around people to make any headway down the trail. It'll throw you like if it's a hike you can do in like I don't know, we'll say it's like a half a day hike and you go to like a popular destination, it's not going to take you all day. I think it's part of the problem like the trail congestion getting clogged up and everything like that's actually it's a bigger problem than I think what people realize. So I'm more into the wild camping, randonnée, off the trail kind of stuff. I just if I'm going out to the woods to be one with nature, I don't want to be surrounded by people. It kind of defeats my purpose. Um, it does look metallic, but it's still wood. It crackers as soon as it lights. Burns similar to what you get there. Definitely would fit in a mint tin. Yeah, yeah, polywog. Yeah, let me know about that stuff. That sounds interesting. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments, guys. But yeah, so that's what we got going with that. Yeah, I've still got a bunch of these available if anybody's interested, or if you know anybody, help spread the word around. Um, Trying to get this channel financed one way or another, and it's something fun to do. It's on every day. You actually make something and throw a label on it, so that was interesting. And yeah, I know Mrs. Bushcraft was right. I should have done the writing more like in the the brighter green that's in the on the YouTube channel logo. But I really wanted to go with OD, so I went with OD, and I guess it doesn't. I think it looks great. I think it's awesome. It's exactly like what I thought it was gonna. It was supposed to be OD, and it was. I mean, the sticker company got it right, but Exotac can't get it right. They know what OD is, so at least we got the right OD. But I guess it would have been better, slightly closer to that lime green or something that I got from Exotac. Would have been would have been more legible, or would have stood out. It's still legible. It just doesn't stand out. I think that was my point. Yeah, how we doing on time? Kapow, kapow. We're not doing too bad, actually. So, does anybody have anything planned this weekend? Any hiking, biking, camping, fishing, a little nature walk or something? A little get out the house. The weather here is finally getting better. It's almost it's just got to stop raining every day now. Okay, so there's a father and son that went camping, and a bunch of people decided to crowd around them playing loud music at 9 in the morning. Who's in the wrong? I would say the people like crowding around playing the loud music. Like, I don't know. That's like trail etiquette's gone out the door. Like it used to be, like you had, if you want to listen to your music, you threw some headphones on or something, or um. But that's all changed because everybody. It's more about an individual being happy, even if they disturb a group. Well, that kind of didn't go as planned. Oh, Justin, yeah, stoked. Yeah, glad you like those. I'm definitely gonna come out with some more stuff like that over there. It's gonna be a minute. I definitely I lost some coin doing those ones, and yeah, I've still got some left. If anybody's interested, like hit me up on Instagram or something. But yeah, that's awesome, man. He got mad and told him to leave because they invaded the campsite that he was at instead of finding their own campsite. That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to be rowdy and party and stuff, if the other people are there first, yeah, first come, first serve, I think is what that would fall under. That's the way I would look at it. And it's I don't know. I've always been courteous to people I camp with, and I haven't had too many run-ins with people. But then again, I've done a bunch of stealth camping, so I avoid a lot of that just by stealth camping. You can find some place. It's not like all the YouTube videos, where you got to come out there with a full cupcake commando camo net and everything like that. Like, just find a spot where there's not any houses or people or any of that around, and hey, you're wild camping, and you don't have to be a cupcake commando in the process. I mean, those things definitely help. I mean, don't go out there with like a bright red tent and at 9 o'clock at night toss a couple glow sticks or chem lights in there, and because that tent will turn into a giant glow stick. I mean, you got to be somewhat passive about it, but yeah, I think I just avoided people and would find camp spots that are far enough from any activity that nobody even knew I was there. That was the best part. Like that's true stealth camping, is finding a spot that's far enough away from everybody else that they don't even notice you, and then there's nothing to really be concerned about. Would camping on the side of a highway be stealth camping? Yeah, I'll see for sure. Yeah, camping on the side of a highway. Yeah, just cut in the woods 50 yards or something. Um, and yeah, I think the stealth camping is kind of like wild camping, and the questionability of whether or not you should legitimately be there or not is, I think, the definition of stealth camping is what they're calling it. I could change this week, next week, I'm not sure, but anything's possible. It's when you activate your predator camouflage invisibility stealth camp. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you've got the predator camouflage. Oh yeah, this is great. My lung feels great. I'm gonna crack open a beverage. I think still got some coffee going. That's an important thing. So yeah, it's not like always like YouTube. I think that's part of the reason for my channel being here is just to call out some of the bunk that you see on YouTube with, I mean, yeah, you can have fun with it. You can get that 3D reversible camo netting and everything, but well, we're talking about the 5Cs or the 10Cs, and now you're going to get a camo net involved in that, and like I'm all about carrying plenty of gear. Like leave no gear behind. Isn't that how that saying goes? Like it's famous throughout the military and everything. Leave no gear behind. um, yeah, so back when I walked from Tallahassee to Turnaround, my girlfriend slept in the woods with a black plastic tarp. Yeah, exactly, LC. And you saved yourself a fortune doing it. Um, that was one of the perks. Like when um, I wanted to do a 15-mile ruck with the boys, but my calendar got jumped on it. Yeah, I'd rather sit in this solitude in a boring place than deal with people at some destination. Yeah, and the campgrounds, man, they pack you in there like sardines. They're like you're a few feet. Like the camp spots are just. It's all designed to be profitable, and like when you get a tent section at a campground, yeah, they squeeze you in there, and man, you can hear people. It's like living in the barracks. You just listen to people snore and fart all night, amongst other things. But um, yeah, yeah, hell, see water, drink water. Um, just go do bushcraft stuff anywhere. When you say you need to go, just say, "Oh my God, you found me." um, yeah, yeah. The problem is that that's another like thing that YouTube doesn't convey to people is most of that bushcraft stuff that you do is considered to be a temporary structure or a natural structure, and most places don't allow it. You legally can't just go around building like lean-tos all over, which is a good thing because there's like that's how like the ginseng thing got screwed up because they made a TV show out of it, and then pow, everybody's down there like cleaning out the ginseng with no ethics, and they're not replanting and all that. So yes, yeah, same difference. Wawa for the win, mate. Wawa has the best soft pretzel deal on the planet, right? Can we all agree on that? Anybody getting the soft pretzel deal at Wawa? Yeah, that's great, man. When you're cycling like 125, 150 miles, you can put away 4 or 5 of those along with a couple of their sandwiches. Like, oh, what are those two? There's two places in Philly that like the world famous Philly cheesesteaks, which one of them is just they use easy cheese, like the squeeze in a can easy cheese stuff, and that's their secret. I think it's kind of nasty actually. But in my opinion, I went to both those shops with my buddy, and along with the Amish buffet in Lancaster, we're looking for the Amish mafia dude. But that's a whole other funny story. But I actually thought the shake this the yeah in English once more hubba hubba hubba. The steak and cheese at Wawa was actually better. I would get the pepper jack cheese and melted on there. Like yeah, the Wawa deal was better than either of the two famous you got to eat there spots. Um, yeah, it's disgusting. Like who thought of this? And it's great. Like no, no, like no easy cheese on does not go on. Like who does that? People in Philly. But look at Philly. They got Kensington Ave. That says a lot about Philly. Wawa meatball subs are amazing. Yeah, Chaos, you're right. They are amazing. Like, yeah, Wawa makes a great sub and an awesome soft pretzel. I'm a huge fan of the soft pretzel. Maybe I'll make soft pretzels tomorrow, like homemade soft pretzels. Anybody like I do? I like the mustard. You gotta have mustard soft pretzel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They literally use the cheese whiz, the spray in a can stuff, and that's how they make. So they're like That's just kind of. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was nasty, and it's like upcharged so much because of the novelty. Easy cheese was easier to text. Yeah, Leaning Tower of Cheese. Um, yeah, Cheese Whiz, cheese in a can, in an aerosol can, pressurized. That's awesome. These still light up pretty good. It's my screwdriver. So, anybody get any good gear they want to share? Any new saws or I don't know. I'm kind of. I think I need to fulfill the gadget portion. Like I need a gadget, but a functional, highly functional gadget. Um, yeah, I got to think. I don't know why, but saws and knives and all that stuff, they matter a lot too, but sometimes it's the little tools that matter. And so I'm going to be on a quest for some of those other you got to have like some tweezers, depending on where you're at, like a tick removal tool, that's always handy. But they make some fancy stuff, like like the magnet titanium toothpick and stuff. That's pretty cool. Like X head instead of Phillips head. But yeah, I think that's the goofiest movie I've ever seen, and that's the goofiest reference. Somebody's got to do it though. It's all fun and games until somebody gets an eye poked out, and then it's just fun, and then hide from everybody's parents. Well, that's burning pretty good. Yeah, I want to. I think I can get away with doing some of those twig stoves out back. So, yeah, when I can get a twig stove, I might move these into. Well, I'll set up in the backyard a little bit. I don't know. I'll either use a power bank or run an extension cord or something. But yeah, I'd like to set up a twig box and stuff, and some stuff with maybe just a big old chimenea, roast some hot dogs, marshmallows. We'll have a traditional 1980s style camping meal with just spaghettios and spam or something stupid. Couple of Slim Jims on the side. Like I carry tweezers, scissors, nail clippers, sewing needles. Yeah. I carry all that stuff as well. And like I said, the P38. That's got to be a class. That's one of the best classics. Like if you don't own that, like yeah, I'm gonna behave. Make a hobo stove out of a coffee can. Ground fog. You are absolutely right, my man. Why don't I think of that? Um, I got to check the coffee can. Oh, now I'm going to end up dumping out the Mrs. Bushcraft coffee. And Ground Fog said it was a good plan. I should make a stove out of her coffee can. So, and I wasn't in the right state of mind because Chaos Theory said let's burn some stuff, and yeah, it's not my fault, honey. It's the YouTube guys are making me do it. Titanium coated tweezers. I have those Civivi ones that like twist open. It's got a little twist and they slide open. So instead of losing the little plug you always have, like yeah, like here's a pair of tweezers here, and you always lose this little plastic sleeve. And I swear this little plastic tube piece, it usually ends up getting cut off of my water filter. Like whatever I have for a water filter, when I lose this little piece, I just cut a little piece of that tubing to replace it because you're going to lose that little piece. But the Civivi ones, I think I put away somewhere. But they got a little screw thing on the side, and they're fully retractable. Bushcraft burned some sweet green tinder. Yeah, I'll blame it on Pollywog. Yeah, we those are different kind of green fire starters. Yeah, but ground fog, you're totally right, man. Yeah, I should absolutely do that. Make a hobo stove out of a coffee can. Um, I'll make a note of that. I think that would make a pretty good a solid video. Like I could do a video on that, right? Or is that already been done 1,000 times? It's probably already been done 1,000 times, huh? Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, I was highly threatened. I was told if I didn't do this stuff, then I would never get monster drinks ever again. Which that's probably I'm a crackhead when it can you say crackhead on YouTube? I don't know, but I'm a crackhead when it comes to the crack in a can. I love that stuff. I don't know why. In moderation though, you can't overdo it. You can't be like going overboard, but yeah, I'm a bit of a crackhead with the crack in a can. One video making those was like 12 minutes long. Pollywog, you're talking about the hobo stove with the coffee can? Yeah, I mean, how long? I think maybe that should only be like 10 minutes. I guess, explain how to do, like you say what you're doing, show how to do it, and then show it working. I guess that would be the big thing. What about those like little penny burners, alcohol burners and stuff people make out of pop cans, soda cans, carbonated beverage cans, depending on what region you're in? Yeah, yeah, Justin, and yeah, that was I didn't purchase that. That was a gift. And I know I'm like hardcore into the USA stuff and definitely buy USA made. But when somebody buys me a gift, I really can't say much about it. I'm not that much of a Richard Cranium. Somebody was generous enough and it was a gift. And in all fair, he was a minor at the time too. He's younger, so he thought that would be something cool that the old man would like. So that's how I ended up with it. Yeah. Yeah, I do make that disclaimer. Like same thing if like some people have offered to send stuff in and some people have sent stuff in to the channel to give away to the community. And I really I don't have anything to say about that either. Like if they're gonna send it in, they're gonna send it in. We're gonna give it away. But yeah, I really can't, if somebody's being generous and gifting something, then I just think it would be inappropriate to be like, hey, that's not made in the USA there, Richard Cranium. Yeah, pop cans, soda cans, fizzy drinks, cans. I don't know, man. Depends on where you go. Everybody's calling it something different. We all just need to, carbonated beverage is where I leave it because people are like, you call it pop, you call it soda. That's a carbonated beverage, son. Nothing I can do about it. They made a Hoburn lantern and oh, is that one of the extreme ones where they fold it open and stuff like yeah, like who really does that? Uh I could see maybe, like if you threw a candle in there, like you guys know them, the candle holders and stuff. Maybe if it's I don't know, I don't think it's just get yourself one of the who makes it the UCO. But I've owned like three or four of those lanterns and I can't think of what they're called. The little single they make a triple candle one and a single candle and it like telescopes out. Who makes that? Yeah, next to make a toilet out of a toilet coffee can. 19 minutes long. Man, one of the things that was driving me nuts watching YouTube is the ridge line, the new advanced ridge line, the no knots ridge line, and then the fine print, you bastard, no knots in the field. So I watched his like 50-minute long freaking no knots ridge line in the field, and to find out you have to tie like 28 knots to build this ridge line. And but so you're still doing all the stuff. You're just doing it at home, and that's how it became the no knots ridge line because you're not tying the knots in the field. But he made the mistake of using bank line, and stuff for the prussics and everything. And as you know, like those wear out and pop real quick, and you're just retying them in the field anyhow. So use Dynama or Kevlar for your prussics, and they won't break down as often because you only get like 3 to 5 uses out of those. And I'm pretty sure that's even with like 36 pound. Yeah, like 36 pound bank line. You only get a couple tie. You'll set it up a few times, and the bank line will start to fail. You'll cook through the paracord will cook through the bank line. So, but yeah, no knots, ridge line, but in fine print tied in the field. It's like, what does this guy do for a living? Is he a freaking lawyer, an insurance adjuster, or something? Like, dude that titles his videos like that has to work for an insurance company or something. But yeah, it was actually like he needed to tie 28 knots to make his version of the ridge line. And then the back and forth ridgeline wars between the bushcrafters, like, oh no, like go to Walmart and get these little wooden toggles here. Like, okay, yeah, like that's real bushcrafty. Like, why not? I've got a video. I've got my own ridgeline video I got to make, but I need a microphone so I can talk, or I got to learn how to do some type of editing trickery, not trickery, but like narration or something. Oh yeah, Ridge Wallet. Yeah, I've seen those. I've never gotten into those new flat wallets and stuff. I still use an old school. I've never even really put a wallet in my pocket. It usually goes in my backpack, or something like that. Um, yeah, soda water, Justin. Pop cans, soda water. Some of that there carbonated beverage. Always about to light this. Shazam. If you burn it, they'll come, right? That sounded horrible. If you burn it, she's probably not coming back. You can't say that, man. That's just inappropriate. It's all a personal crowd in here tonight, so we're all good. I make all my own cordage from Dog's Bane from hobo camps. I'm never not making natural fibers as how some naturalist hikers be. Yeah, I'm not with you on that one, Polywog. Like, I'm gonna hats off to you on that, dude. I'm just gonna order myself 100 foot hank of paracord and call that a day, or something similar. It doesn't have to be like 550 paracord. It might be 900, 750, 1200, 275. Depends on whether I'm going for Graham Weenie points or I want to do a little rappelling. Um, oh, dude, I know people, and I'm not making fun of them at all. And that's why I said, like, hats off to you if you're out there making your own cordage. I know people that make like they make the cordage, like they do all that twisty for like 3 weeks and end up with 18 feet of cordage. Um, Yeah, like more power to them. Like that is amazing. I've never like I know it's been like you see it in the movies and on TV, but I've never had to like I got to make cordage out of like this thistle branch or something. Or yeah, like I've just never been that motivated. I've just always had too much of that stuff around like paracord and things. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. It's just not. I'm not gonna do it. Or if I do, it'll be like some like little section of it. Like this is here. That's how it's done, and compile, move on. I do think those people are cool. Still gonna make fun though, but the nature stuff is cool as fuck. Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, that all natural, like super duper. Yeah, like we're gonna make cordage out of this, and I'm gonna carve my coffee cup out of a piece of wood every time I go, and carve a spoon. And nah, I bought one aluminum one. It's still good, like 15 years later. I'm gonna upgrade to titanium though. I've been eyeballing some of that Vargo stuff with a matching set of chopsticks. Does it get any more bushcrafty cool than that? I'd just be, if you get the three piece, the spoon, the fork, and the butter knife, throw some chopsticks in there. a long-handled spoon, a little serving thing or something. What more do you need? Oh yeah, and then you throw in the Alaris if you got anything serious, like if I got to cut up some SpaghettiOs or something, I got the Alaris. I make my own cordage with a debit card and an internet connection. I would use the cord for the internet collection connection as cordage. Um, yeah, that's what I would do. All right, I think after this one, we're gonna have to let some of the oxygen replace. We're gonna crack open a little crack in the can, man. How's the viewing? Is YouTube brutalizing us with ads? Because I think that might be a wee bit of a problem. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you end up like Tom Hanks in Castaway. You're sitting there like doing this mathematical equation of like how much cordage you can make out of the bark you gathered. Like, nah, but I don't know. That's a fiction story anyhow. Yeah, I think in the true extreme survival situation, nobody has it planned out. Like that's the scenario. Like you survive a shipwreck or a plane crash or something. Um, yeah, that would be the extreme scenario there. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Ground fog. How to you do it predator style, right? I think that would be the yeah, I know. I've kind of always been fascinated by some of the natural traps they made in Vietnam. Like I've heard all the stories and looked them up, and yeah, that's worth sketching out the schematics for that real quick. Yeah, chaos. The Cat 5. It's almost like like 550 cord. Yeah, the napping a knife thing. That would be. There's got to be somewhat of a learning curve to that. That's definitely a skill set. But I think that's where like having a solid carry would just make more sense. Just for me, I don't know. Like if I know I'm going out in the woods, I'm going out in the woods with like at least two or three knives minimum. So the odds of me losing all three of them are not that. I've lost one here or there, especially in my younger years when I was less responsible and running around the woods like an idiot. I'm out there with the rest of my buddies playing Cupcake Commando. Um, Pat, what's happening, man? How you doing, BNA? Welcome to the chat, my man. Driving gone home. The North Sentinel people and be out with a spear in my unique fighting helicopters. Yeah. Have you seen Sage Smoke Survival or Denny Dust, the Flint napping guy? They're natural types. Yeah. No, I really have. I've never really watched. I've watched stuff a few times. Just random. I'm just not that into it. I would just. I'm not really into the primitive survival skills, and that's like being able to nap your own knife. Um, yeah, that would definitely be like primitive. I'm more kind of like a new school, old school. I'm actually, like I said, I'm sorting it out. I'm finding my own way. Like I think that most people agree, like what you carry throughout your lifetime, like evolves with age, experience, involvement. The more you're involved with something, the more apt you are to invest into it. Um, and yeah, a lot of that stuff. Um, yeah, I wasn't really into the primitive survival stuff. Never have been. I think it's cool. I think it's impressive. Like, and I've seen like some of the old stuff. There's Mount Jasper up in the north part of Berlin, right by the high school, and that's where the Native Americans would mine for jasper, and that was where they flint napped it into arrowheads and things like that. And they were traded all up and down the eastern seaboard, pretty much any place east of the Mississippi. They found arrowheads that came out of Berlin, New Hampshire. So I always thought the history of it, or seeing it, like, and they have a tiny little museum thing in downtown Berlin, New Hampshire. You can go in there and they've got a whole bunch of artifacts and things that were recovered from there. But you can still go up there to this day and walk around the wooded area, and you can find like discarded mistakes. Like they were trying to nap an arrowhead and it didn't go right. It still kind of looks like an arrowhead, but factory second. You can still find those all over the place in the woods up there. So yeah, I think the history is cool. The way they do it's cool. The fact that people have recreated it and figured it out is cool, but not cool enough for my time. Yeah, I got no interest in flint napping or any of that. I'm not even interested in like the flint and steel with char cloth and stuff. Just like why? Then it seems like it's like a very difficult way to start a fire. And when that was cutting edge technology, then it made sense. But it's not today, so it's kind of like falls under that reenacting thing to me. Now, where like you don't have to look like Grizzly Adams to go out bushcrafting. Like there's that, you don't have to be covered. You don't have to wear the raccoon hat with a wax canvas tarp and a wax canvas haversack and all the, Grizzly Adams get up. I mean, you can use modern gear and it would still be, I don't know, by the whatever definition you're going off of bushcraft. It's still possible. But, oh, didn't I say I wasn't going to do another one for a while? And here I am. Jayco, what's happening, my man? How you doing? Yeah, we're burning stuff, geeking out on gear, talking about different, whatever's clever. So, but yeah, I got to figure out how to change the settings on this thing too. Um, yeah, polywogging. That's what I'm saying, man. There is nothing wrong with a Bic lighter. In fact, one step it up and um, get yourself a waterproof case for that. Whoever makes a waterproof case, and yeah, you don't have to wrap it in a half a roll of duct tape. Uh, yep. Like it's the thing. I think that you end up. I don't know. I've just never duct taped the lighters. And now they took it one step further and they'll unroll it some and they'll put some fishing hooks and all this other stuff. I just like, and then when your lighter goes dead because you actually use your lighter, and now you're pulling all that stuff off and throwing it all away or trying to salvage it and make a mess. Yeah, there's that crowd that's um, into the friction fire. Once again, it's cool. It's a cool trick. It's kind of outdated and it's so particular to the type of environment that you're in, and it's so sensitive to like humidity. Yeah, it makes it hard. Kelly Weaver, how you doing, man? Just got back from work. Wow, late night for you, eh? Or yeah, you're pulling the second shift. Tegan, yeah, this is the Spyderco Sage 5 CF. Yeah, most definitely. And one of my favorite knives too. It was gifted to me by somebody on the channel. Actually, yeah, Pat's here now. So yeah, awesome knife. I still EDC it. Still has a happy home, and we're just enjoying it. Um, it was my gateway Spyderco. Now I'm like, huh. Never really got into Spydercos before, and now that's why I call it my gateway Spyderco. Because now I'm looking at the Manix and the Shaman and a few others down the road, but no rush. I got a great knife, so oh, Tegan, I love the knife. I think it's great. At least in my opinion, as an EDC knife, it's the perfect size. Fits in the pocket, great. Disappear. I don't really use the pocket clip too much. I just put it in all the way in my pocket. I carry it like right front, and then I've got my fixed blade in my left front pocket. But yeah, it's a great knife. They're extremely well made. Yeah, this is the carbon fiber version. But yeah, I dig it. I think it's an awesome EDC knife, and I've been EDCing it now more than a few months. Man, I think it's been like 5, 6 months or something like that. 6 months close, and yeah, great knife. I think I don't know how it's comparing, but I think they're coming out with a Sage 6. I could be wrong. Um, but I've heard rumors of it. I've heard a lot of talk about it. I don't know if it's been released yet or whatever, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned. I so yeah, great knife. I love it. Yeah, you know when you're really happy with a piece of kit, one of the biggest telltale signs you can tell when you're happy with something is you don't look at the other ones. You know what I mean? Kind of like the same thing, when you got that final girlfriend that became your fiance and then you married her, like if she's the right one, she's going to distract you from everything else. And you're fine with what you have. That's kind of how I am with gear too. When I've got a good pocket knife, there's no point in looking anyplace else. So yeah, the Manix 2 and the Manix 2 XL. I do like the little brother, big brother. Like I've looked a few times at a couple different the Hinder or half track and full track, or like like you could say Chris Reeves, the small Sabenza and the regular Sabenza or something. Not a huge Chris Reeves fan. I think that they're a little bit overpriced for what you're getting, and the fact that if you want it, if you want a left-handed knife, you gotta wait like 2 years. I got to pay in full and wait 2 years. Just turns me off from it. Even like 3 to 6 months. I've looked into TCal, and it's like, when they get caught up on their orders, maybe I'll look into some more of that. But um, oh yeah, yeah. Of course, I got an extinguisher right over there, Neil. Just right off the camera here. Actually, I got about a half a cup of coffee. That'd do it. But we do have it on this fire retardant metal cookie sheet that I've destroyed. Um, yeah, Neil, how you doing, my man? Um, yeah, Neil, you should be getting your package in either tomorrow or Monday, I think. If you haven't gotten it already, it should be tomorrow or Monday. But yeah, I got that shipped out to you earlier in the week. I'm not sure if we sent you an email, but I meant to. But it's on the way. It's been shipped. Everything's taken care of, my man. Um, if you could just let me know when you get it. I had one person I shipped to in New Jersey, and 2 weeks later they still hadn't gotten it from New Hampshire to New Jersey. So then I sent him out another set, and then the next day he got the first set. It took like 2.5 weeks to go from New Hampshire to New Jersey. So but yeah, Neil, we were talking about Spyderco's. Do you have any input on Spyderco's? I think you rock a couple, don't you? We got the smoke going. Kapow. Yeah, I think I saw you show a couple Spyderco's back a while ago, Neil. I'm not sure. Could be wrong, but yeah, we were kind of talking them. I've been looking into a few now that I have them. I'm not in a rush. Um I got plenty of other stuff I need before a second folder. So I'm still working on a tent and a tarp and a hammock and stuff like that. So it'll come all in due time. Yeah, the tenacious. Yeah, that's another good one. I've definitely that's one that stands out. Also, yeah, the PM2 and the PM3 is pretty cool. And yeah, anything that like parachute, like a paramilitary, like even what's that? They've got the para bottle, the titanium para bottle there. The hell's the name of the company? All the fumes is getting to me. Yeah, the resilience. Yeah, I mean Spyderco. I've never. I think, part of the problem, like, oh, I'll do one of these because this will make a extra big mess. See what let's see if I can show this on the camera. See, this is one that's got like a lot of Vaseline, petroleum jelly, and they kind of like, see how they don't do that? But like a lot of the other ones do. Like you can actually see how it stays together. That's why I didn't like the petroleum jelly ones. Because yeah, it kind of makes it's way more messy. They don't kind of, this is more like a snotty gummy bear or something. I mean, they light up good. They got a pretty good burn time, but not a fan of the mess. And see, these kind of like when you pull them apart, if you do the thing, which those ones don't want to do, you end up with that real fibrous ends that are definitely going to catch like first shot versus this clumpy mess. So that was us prototyping crap. Oh yeah, they're doing that. Yeah, who's the other one that does that? Yeah, yeah, there's a few companies that are doing that. Like some of their stuff is U.S. made, but some of it's not. Kershaw, yeah, Kershaw is another one. They've got a couple USA made knives, and then like majority of them are imported. But found a used PM2 on Flea Boy for 120 some time ago. Switch hardware from chrome to blue. Nice, Neil. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, where'd you say you found that on? Found a used team on Fleabay. Oh yeah. How's that the other blade one? Blade Binge. But yeah, I do like the way the petroleum jelly ones burn, but they're just they're a huge mess, and they just, I don't know. Yeah, they're extremely messy, kind of annoyingly messy. And if you're out in the outdoors doing stuff, I don't want to deal with that. Like that's why I used to have like a little a medicine bottle, like the brown one with the white top, and I would do a bunch of like Vaseline cotton balls and throw them in there, and then use those. But those were always messy and just not a fan. Yeah, I was doing that back in like late '80s, early '90s, I think it was. And they taught us to do the dryer lint and all that stuff. The Civil Air Patrol there. Never bought on Blade Bench. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't really buy tons of knives anyhow, so it's not something that I really get into too much. It's all good. But yeah, these yeah, they definitely get a good flame going with the petroleum jelly. But like I said, it just they don't travel as well. I think travel has a lot to do with it. Its ability, like throwing this back in the tin. Um, that's nasty, messy. But you could. This isn't one of the ones, but similar. Yeah, that just goes back in there. I would throw this in my pocket and not be overly concerned about it. This right here, you want to put in a Ziploc bag or something and pack it away. But definitely get some good flames out of it. But yeah, Ground Fog made an awesome suggestion that we make like a hobo stove out of a coffee can. We'll start testing that. I want to get to the Bushcraft essential stuff and run through some of those twig stoves and whatnot. But yeah, these things definitely get going. No doubt about that. Kapow. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one burn out, and I'm trying to keep these to 2 hours, and we're at just about 2.5. Who knows? I might get froggy and like start another live at like midnight or something. But yeah, doing the 9-10 hour live chats are fun, and it's great having everybody cycle through. Because you don't expect everybody to watch the whole thing. Everybody watches like 20-30 minutes, but the watch rate percentage on those 9 or 10 hours, like kind of like yeah, that hurt the channel in a big way because everybody's hanging out 20-30 minutes, some people longer, some people less, whatever, it's all good. But yeah, it equated to like an average of like 2.47% of watched of the video watched. So it was not helping me get the channel out at all. But it wasn't the point. The point was to have fun and hang out and have a social. But yeah, if I'm gonna grow the channel and try to make something out of this channel, I gotta kind of play by the rules, not the rules, but play the game a little. So yeah, almost 40, just about there. We're getting there. Um, but yeah, I do have to work on getting my average view duration up because that's been suffering quite a bit. Oh, we can make this burn a little longer, right? We'll just throw that in there. More, more. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, yeah. I'd like to get. I think it's a good way to try to control the algorithm, though. I know I'm. I know that sounds a little, maybe a little cocky, maybe a little audacious, but maybe if I really want to, like I want to control how fast my channel grows or whatever. Like I don't want it to get overwhelmingly overnight. So if the channel starts getting a little too much growth, now I know I can just run a few 8 to 10 hour lives and it'll slow it down. Beavis and Butthead, fire, fire. Exactly, LC. Fire, fire. It's what the cool kids is doing, man. And the crazy part is most of the time when I end my lives early, I end up talking to some people I know anyhow. So I might as well just keep doing lives. But I've got to like maybe, I've talked to a few people about it. Like maybe end a live and then like an hour or two later, like start one back up or do stuff like that. And that way, there it kind of breaks it down to try to fix that average view duration. So that might be a thing. So, but yeah, if you're on, especially people on Instagram, if you're on Instagram and a couple of people get together and want to do a live, like I'll do a live with a few people just to have a social, because that's what it's all about, really, in my opinion. I actually had some like asshat freaking try to be like, oh, he waits for people to ask questions and then answers them. It's like, yeah, isn't that the whole point? Like it's like I always viewed live chats as like direct interaction. Like we get to talk about whatever, like we do. It's not for me to sit here and rant on for like 45 minutes about something. Um, Yeah, Elsie, that's another point too. Is yeah, if I switch it up a little bit and add some lives here and there, like yeah, Saturdays, maybe do like a Saturday morning and a Saturday afternoon or something. Um, yeah, start switching it up, and yeah, it'll get the channel out to more people that are available at different times. Maybe rotate through the whole schedule somehow. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Elsie. And I kind of like um I try to take pride in it. Like I try to like every comment I try to keep track of. Sometimes the chat gets going and I'm talking and I miss something, but yeah, like that's the whole point is like yeah, do a live chat, not a podcast. If you're gonna do a podcast, just they even have that category in the YouTube studio, where you just keep track of all that stuff, they have a separate column for podcasts and then separate column for live chats and shorts and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, that's kind of my standpoint on that. So I like that. That's the whole point of doing this. And this is how, like, we've created a lot of things just having these socials. The pyro pucks came out of having socials. The troll hunting club patches came out of having socials, and a whole bunch of good information. Like Ground Fog earlier was like, dude, just do a coffee can, the hobo thing there. Yeah, good point, man. Why didn't I think of that? Oh yeah, Elsie, I've been in live chats where they don't even acknowledge a single question in the live chat. And that's when I just like, okay, there's no point in really going. It's not really interactive, so yeah, no matter where this channel goes, that'll be something I always focus on. Is in the live chats, we'll answer questions, ask questions. Yeah, because the community input is equally as important. If actually, it's more important than what I have to say. Um, so yeah, something I'm definitely going to focus on. But yeah, and we hit 40 likes, and that's awesome. So yeah, but guys, I think yeah, this one's at the 2.5 hour mark. So I'm gonna wrap it up. And who knows? I might jump on again later tonight or yeah tomorrow or something. I think we'll work it out though. I'll try to do like a community poster. I'll set up the live at least a few hours before, so hopefully people get the notifications and stuff. But yeah, it's another Friday night. Thanks for hanging out. Who knows? We might be on at 12:01 on Saturday, 12:01 a.m. So keep an eye out if you're still hanging out. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope you had fun. If you didn't have fun, maybe you learned a little something. Hopefully, it was both a little fun, a little information exchange. But yeah, definitely thanks for hanging out, and be well. We'll see you on the next one. Good night, guys.